Hello, welcome back to my channel.
And my channel.
Today I have my friend Evie with me, and today we are doing our fantasy bingo TBR and recommendations. This is my first time participating. Doing our fantasy bingo. What about you, Evie?
Um, yes, this is gonna be, let's face it, a failed attempt at the r/fantasy bingo.
I think everyone knows that about me. Every year I plan so much TBR. I barely read half of it, but I'm going to try. As that too, I am planning to do all hard mode. So we have, so I
Might as well like aim for the highest high.
there are like few rules. All books has to be speculative fiction, fantasy, sci-fi, horror, paranormal, whatever else, and one book per square. You can't repeat an author. There are two exceptions for that. If you read a short story collection or anthology, you can repeat an author. You can read a full length novel by them. And there is another exception. I'll get to that when we come to that prompt. So that's all. The first prompt is trans or non-binary protagonist. They cannot be an alien or robot. Hard mode is set in a pre-modern time period. Out, I check. Actually, to be honest, the TBR I planned for this year, I have no idea if there are any trans or non-binary characters. So I went to recommendations list. Ready, our fantasy has bingo recommendations. Like for each prompt, there are so many recommendations people are throwing, and out of that I found one which is on my TBR actually. Most of them I tried to add my TBR from this year, but if it's not on my TBR, I try to pull in from my long term TBR. Only two books I'm adding which are not there in my TBR at all, totally new to me. Anyway, this book is I am going with Raven Tower by Anne Leckie. This one, last time I spoke with Adrian Tchaikovsky on Madon Books channel. He recommended this book. That's when I checked this book first time. That's when I added this to my TBR. I don't remember what is this about, but this is what I'm going to read. Apparently, this also fits hard mode.
So my pick for this is actually a book I do not have as of right now. But it is Wrath Goddess Sing by Maya Dean, and it does fit hard mode because it's a trans character and it's by a trans author. So it is a Achilles Iliad retelling, seeing Achilles as a trans woman, which I think
That
is
sounds
utterly
very
fascinating.
interesting.
Yeah,
Very interesting. I really need to know like how they are going to do it.
yeah, yeah. So I am very excited to read that. Which actually makes me, as an aside, I want to do my delusional plan is to read Wrath Goddess Sing and The Song of Achilles fairly back to back and do like a comparison type thing.
You haven't
Um,
read Song of Achilles before this?
no, I only read Circe and I hated it. Remember, Anitha?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry.
I didn't actually hate it, so it was fine. The second prompt is judge a book by its title. Read a book based on the title. This can be a title so epic you had to pick it up, or so weird and off putting that you needed to know why it was called this. And hard mode is dive into it without reading the blurb or any summaries about the book. And mine is A Door into Ocean by Joan Slonczewski. I butchered that last name to high heaven. Um, I can't remember what I was looking for, but this popped up on a Amazon recommendation. So truly, it was partially a cover by and partially title by. But it is apparently a more classic sci-fi written in the maybe 70s, maybe 80s, maybe even 60s. I don't know. But
Okay.
yeah,
I
that's
think
my
that's
pick.
the whole point of the prompt. You can't know. So for me, this is one of the easiest prompts. I have two books I added to my TBR just from the title for this year actually in my 26 books to read in 2026. One is I Who Have Never Known Men. That one I added to my TBR like long back, but since then it became popular in booktube and I know about that book now, so it fits only
Finger.
normal mode. So for hard mode I am reading We Will Rise Again. This is a speculative stories and essays on protest, resistance, and hope. I did not read the blurb, but based on the title, we can guess what are the stories about. So this is edited by Karen Lord, Annalie Nevis, and Malka Older. All three are new to me authors as well. So I am buddy reading this with Evie here actually.
And spoiler alert, that book will make an appearance in a later prompt.
And prompt number three, translated story that has been translated from a language you don't read or speak. Hard mode is first translated into your language within the last 5 years. I have a perfect pick. Just it's a coincidence actually. I did not plan on that. I read last month Kiki's delivery service, which is on my 26 books to read in 2026. Actually, that was the only one in translation, English translation. I didn't even know that book 2 translation is coming out. Apparently, book 2 translation is coming out in August. That is Kiki and the New Magic. I'm going to read that.
Oh, interesting. I didn't even know. That's cool.
Yeah, even I did not. I enjoyed it. Was cute. Book 1 was cute.
Wait,
I
when did you
enjoyed
finish book 1?
last month.
Oh, never mind. Okay. I was going to say you could have used it for, like, if you finish it this month, but it's fine. Okay, for me, it is going to be If We Cannot Go at the Speed of Light by Kim Chow Yup. This is not to flex or anything, but this is an arc that I received from Saga Press. Thank you, Saga, for this. But it is translated from Korean, and it is a collection of stories, obviously written by Kim Chow Yup, translated by Anton Kure. So it is getting comps to Ted Chain and Kin Liu, and who else? There was another comparison. I think maybe Le Guin? Question mark.
Wow.
So I could be lying about that. Let's be honest. So, but either way, I'm very excited to read this.
Nice.
The next prompt is small press or self-published. Read a book published by a small press or is self-published. Hard mode is the book has to have under 100 ratings on Goodreads or is by an author from a marginalized group. And Anita and I have the same pick for this because Anita picked it for me. And it's Magical Women. I think who's it? Stories edited by
Sukanya Venkat Raghavan.
Thank God you said that because I was going to butcher the hell out of that name. Stories edited by Sukanya Venkat Raghavan.
That's correct. Very good, Evie.
Listen, I put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
So this is published in India and written by, this is a anthology of by almost all, I think all of them are by Indian female authors, and I think some of them are non-binary as well. Evie gifted me, sent me this book like 2-3 years back. We are finally buddy reading it. Finally, this bingo is helping us to read this book from our shelves. Otherwise, I don't know when we would have got to this.
It's true. This book has survived multiple purges from my library. So if it doesn't get read now, it's never going to get read.
So, prompt number 5, unusual transportation. Story includes a surprising method of moving from place to place. Unusual meaning it can't be common in the genre as well. For example, Kiki's delivery service use broomsticks, but broomsticks are very common in witchy books, so it can be like common in the genre as well, not just in our real life. And hard mode is transportation is not combustion powered or steam powered. So I will be reading Wishful Ascending by Jesse M. Byrne for this. In this, actually, Wishful is a sentient ship which creates artificial gravity. All ship Wishful and its shuttles create artificial gravity to move forward, and these are powered by nuclear fusion, I think. So it will fit. Joe confirmed, other confirmed it to me. This is a reread for me, but I'll be reading book 2 and 3 as well. I don't know how many I'll be reading this year. So I'll put one of them for this prompt.
Nice. I will be reading because I am sure there's going to be some sort of unusual mode of transportation that is not combustion powered or steam powered in This Inevitable Ruin by Matt Dinneman, the seventh book of Dungeon Crawler Carl, and it doesn't need to be this long. Why is it this long? It doesn't need to be. There's no excuse.
When did you finish book 6?
March?
Oh, I did
Early
not
March?
realize. Okay.
It feels like forever ago, but it was early March.
Okay.
But yeah, so and just in time for me to hopefully maybe potentially also read book 8 in the year of 2026. But no promises. The next prompt is The Afterlife, and this is a story that deals with the realm of the dead. The hard mode is the afterlife does not depict a good place or a bad place. Dichotomy. Um, so my pick for this, I actually technically have two options. One is Lila Sage's new book that's coming out in September, Free Falling, which is the sequel to Soul
Soul
Searching,
searching.
which I'm very excited about. I'm going to read it regardless. But my official pick is going to be The Reformatory by Tananarive Due. This is about the titular reformatory, which has a very much a real life historical context. And from what I've heard, Tananarive Due wrote this based on family stories about obviously family being in these reformatories. They're basically like youth jail type things, places in Jim Crow South. So I anticipate, considering it's also a horror book, that it's going to be very hard hitting, not just from the subject matter, but from the gore and terror.
So my pick for this prompt is Evie will be very happy about this book, Spare Cuts Through Water by Simon Jimenez. So people say initially I was going to read this book for a different prompt, but people said in recommendations people mentioned that it will fit for hard mode as well. Evie, you have to confirm it.
I mean, I would argue that it doesn't even fit the regular mode, but I don't want to burst your bubble.
Really? Oh my, you have to confirm if it fits or not.
I don't think it fits. I mean, I guess you could stretch it and say that. I don't know. I would say no, but I can see why people could interpret it
Okay, I
that
will be
way.
reading this in any way. It's a buddy read with Philip K. Fox Read and Evie. We are doing it in May. I will decide if it fits or not for Afterlife. Otherwise, if it doesn't fit this prompt, I'll use for different prompt.
And
And
then Nitha will be buddy reading Free Falling with me to fit the
Soul
prompt.
Searching. I have to read Soul Searching. So that is my backup option for this prompt. So prompt number 7, game changes. Story features a game or competition. Hard mode is protagonist bends or breaks the rules in some way. So people are recommending either Hunger Games or DCC for this. Actually, many people are reading new DCC book for this prompt. Somehow I'm not in the mood for either of these books. If my mood changes, I'll pick up Hunger Games in later in the year. There are other books I'm more interested in, like Amari and the Night Brothers. That is a middle grade one. And there is a YA. I don't remember if it is a YA or not, but Final Strife by Sarah L. I don't remember the other name. Anyway,
Sarah El Rifi?
yeah, I don't even know if it fits hard mode, but I'm going to swap this prompt. We can swap one of these prompts with previous year's bingo's prompts, any of the previous years. So I'm going to swap these prompts because I want to read books which are on my TBR. So in 2022 bingo board, there is a prompt standalone to read a standalone, and hard mode is to pick like Reddit or Fantasy posted their favorite standalones in 2019 or so. We have to pick the standalone which is not there in that list. So I will be reading The Gate to Women's Country by Sherry Estepper. This is Evie gave this book to me in TBR swap. So this is the final book I have to read in the TBR swap. So I need to include this one.
Okay, so my pick for Game Changer is actually a Hunger Games book, but it's one I haven't read before. It's The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. This is the President Snow prequel book, apparently. Well, not even apparently, I know it is. And a lot of people seem to really despise this book, and by that 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 knowledge, I'm determined to love this book. So, just to be
I can
contrarian.
see it happening. It will be your favorite.
Listen, Mockingjay getting unjust dislike. It's a great book. It's my favorite of the series. So, vacation spot. Story takes place somewhere you'd want to visit. Obviously that's subjective, and there's no hard mode for this. And I actually have nothing for this. I'm keeping that option open because I'm just keeping that option open.
Okay, I have options for this. Ideally, it should be Return of the King by J.R.R. Tolkien. I never finished. Final book I read only half actually. I never finished. So I always wanted to go to Lord of the Rings world. So ideally, it should be the book. But right now, I'm not in the mood. I am planning to pick uh, this Chinese fantasy called Heaven Official's Blessing. This is a translated 8 book series. This is, I think, mythological or something like that related to gods. I watch C dramas a lot, all contemporary, um, fantastical, historical, everything. I always want to visit that actually. So I might. This is actually Sarah's recommendation. She loves this series. I think I heard her talking about it long time back and then I forgot about it. Recently, she made a video listing all her favorites from 2020 or so. So she talked about this book as well. That reminded me I wanted to read this as well. So I might read that for this prompt. Prompt number 9, 5 short stories. Read any 5 speculative fiction short stories. Hard mode is read an entire anthology or collection. So this is another easy prompt for me. I have um, 3 actually short story collections or anthologies in my 26 books to read in 2026. I will be reading Her Body and Other Parties by Carmen Maria Machado,
Yes.
one of Evie's favorite collection. I'm also reading actually Brother Scream with Evie and Adza in the Discord. I
I
am
forgot that I could count that.
Yeah,
Dadgum.
I could count this as well, but I want to make myself read this, so I will. Either of these books will count.
So new we can make it even harder mode and complete the entire bingo, black out the bingo board 2 times over. This is not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
One time is a feat.
All right, so I have so many options of like individual stories, collections, anthologies, but my official pick is going to be We Will Rise Again, that Anitha already mentioned. When Angela from Literature Science Alliance read this book before she was even done, she was yelling at me to read it, and thus I must.
We'll
And
be
that's it.
buddy reading that this book as well.
Yes.
Second buddy read.
Yep. 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 Is it my turn? Yeah, it's my
Yeah.
turn. Okay. Next prompt. Older protagonist. Story features a main character who is at least 50 years old. Hard mode is that the protagonist does not have exceptional longevity or immortality, aka they're not like an elf, a dwarf, or vampire, god, whatever that gives them super long lifespan. And just I'm gonna call people out. If you're in, and I'm just gonna reiterate what Angela said. 40s is not over 50. If you're in your 40s, does not mean you're an older protagonist. The prompt is 50s or above. Okay? As someone who is about to hit 40 next year, I take great offense to being called an older protagonist, okay? Anyways, my pick for this is The Terror by Dan Simmons. I know this author has very questionable at best ideologies, but to be crass, he's dead, so it doesn't matter now. But this character is maybe actually 50 or maybe 51. It's like a historical horror novel about the Northwest Passage, I think, if I remember. Yeah, the Franklin expedition to the Northwest Passage. So yeah, what's your pick?
So I'll be reading. People said that Fondali's large Contrafisaco main character is 50. So I'll be reading that anyway next month. So I'll be adding that. Many people are reading Buffalo Hunter Hunter for this prompt. Does that work?
I don't think they actually give his actual age, but I think. I mean, it definitely works for regular mode, but for hard mode, maybe even it also works. I'll just say yes.
Yeah, people are saying like other than the vampire character, there is a priest character who is at least 50. So
I don't recall if they give his actual age, but
okay, that's a
yeah,
recommendation. I totally forgot about talking about recommendations.
that's all right. We can do a part 2 of this video with the recommendations.
Okay, next one is it's my turn, right?
Yes.
Okay, it's duology part one. Read the first book in a duology hard mode by an author you haven't read before. Another easy prompt for me because I have this book ready to go in my April TBR. This is Silver Metal Lover by Tanith Lee. I have never read Tanith Lee,
That's a
and
duology?
yeah,
I didn't know that. Huh.
according to Goodreads, it's duology.
Oh, sweet.
So it's very short as well. I think less than, not less than, it's a very like 220 pages or so. And this is about a woman falling in love with robot. That's all I know about that. Joanna loved this book a lot. She's who recommended this book to me, so I have this ready to go.
Nice. My pick is, I'm gonna butcher how to say this title. Inamorata. Okay, that's how I'm gonna pronounce it. Inamorata by Ava Reed. I've never read anything by Ava Reed, but this was originally labeled when it was announced as like necromantasy, but it's actually very much less romantasy and more grimdark from what I've read on the internets. But it looks so cool.
Ava Reid is the one who writes retellings, right? She's the one who did a retelling of Shakespeare recently, Macbeth or something.
Yeah, she did Lady Macbeth. She did. I have the book somewhere. The Wolf and the Woodsman, and Juniper and Thorn.
Oh yeah.
So, but I'm very, very much intrigued by this one. So, and it is, according to the internet, book one of a duology. So
Nice.
the next prompt is r/fantasy book club or read along book, and this is to tackle any past or active r/fantasy book clubs or read alongs that are going on or have gone on in r/fantasy subreddit. And hard mode is to participate in a current selection of a book club or read along book that's happening either from April through March of next year. As of right now, I'm keeping this prompt open for me, because any of the April books, I couldn't really plan accordingly. And if something happens to pop up in the next year, I will hopefully be able to participate for the hard mode version.
That's my plan as well. I will wait and see what are the other books from next month onward. If I can participate, if some book is on my TBR, long time TBR even, I will read that and participate in the discussion for hard mode. If I can't find anything interesting, I'll do normal mode. So in one of the past buddy reads, there was Frankenstein. That is in my 26 books to 2026 TBR. So I'll read that one for normal mode.
Frankenstein.
So next prompt is published in 2026. Read a book published for first time in 2026. Hard mode is it's the author's first published novel. So this normal mode is very easy. This year I am reading so many books that is published in 2026. I am currently reading Faith of the Beast by James S. A. Corey. That is coming out. No, that's already came out 14th of this month. So that will fit normal mode, but I will try to do hard mode for this. There are a bunch of books coming out, especially a book that's perfect for me. That's called Burn the Sea by Mona Tiwari. That's by Indian Canadian author. That is actually historical fantasy based on Portuguese invasion of southwest India. Based on a true queen, like real life queen, retelling of a real life queen, but fantasy version. So there is another book as well. I don't know how to pronounce the title. I'll put that on screen. That is set in Morocco. Coincidentally, Portuguese invasion as well. So that also I'm interested. And there is another one coming out based on Chinese folklore, Deadly Fates. I can't
Does
even
it involve
pronounce.
the Portuguese invading somewhere?
It's a coincidence, people. I am not saying
Lisa
anything.
hates the Portuguese, confirmed.
So I found that very interesting because most of the Indian, even when we read like Indian history, most of it, I mean, most of the times we talk about British invasion, British colonization, but southwest was invaded by Portuguese, and southeast was invaded by French. Actually, even now, if you see India map, southwest, if you go there, any places, Goa or even Kerala, all those churches are based on Portuguese architecture. You can see that, and southeast, if you visit Pondicherry, you can see French architecture actually. So
Interesting.
uh, it is based. We rarely see books or anything based on Portuguese invasion. So I'm very interested in that, but that is not on my TBR. So I'll definitely try to read Burn the Sea. Uh, but if not, I'll adjust with Faith normal mode, Faith of the Beast.
So, I have nothing for the hard mode for this, to be honest. But there are plenty of 2026 uh, releases that are coming out, obviously, from authors that I've read before. The Unicorn Hunters by Catherine Arden, and Off the Reservation, which is a quasi sequel to The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones, both of whom I adore. And also, if potentially I can hopefully get caught up, They Cry by Glenn Cook, which is the latest book in the Black Company series. The next prompt is Explorers and Rangers, and it's a story that features an explorer or a ranger. And the difference between those two things are an explorer is a character who travels to and investigates an unfamiliar region or territory, and a ranger is a wilderness or forest oriented warrior frequently specialize in things like stealth, bows, tracking, and other hunting related skills. Hard mode is an explorer or ranger that has an animal companion, which I feel like that's not really that hard, but what do I know? My pick is I've actually got two options here. I have Wildlife by Amanda Leduc, and this is about a man who is banished to Siberia, and he meets two hyenas that he thinks are actually manifestations of God that talk to him. So that's an option. But also, Anissa told me that this works. The encyclopedia, well, the encyclopedia, Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. Yeah.
People said it will work, but I don't remember Animal Companion from book one. I read book one.
I mean, aren't fairies kind of animal companions?
No, they're not animal companions.
Oh shit! It says on the blurb, her
Okay.
dog Shadow.
Yeah, yeah, they said she has a dog, but I don't remember. I cannot recall reading a dog in that book. No.
Anita hates
Anyway,
dogs confirmed. I
this
mean, you
is
do have a fear of dogs, so
this is one of the prompts I struggle with because first of all, from my TBR books, I have no idea if there are any explorers or rangers. So from the recommendations list, I picked a book which is not at all there on my TBR. This is the first book I picked, like completely new to me. That is Last Gifts of the Universe by Riley August. Light-hearted book. Most of my books are like very tough to read, so I picked something light-hearted for this prompt. I think this is exploring space, going to ruined planets, and getting like valuable or usable products from those planets. And that lady has a companion as cat. You can see that on the cover actually, cat with the spacesuit. That's cute.
you could do, and you can cut this out. Um, maybe Return of the King. Do you think you could stretch that as Explorer?
If I want to, I did consider it, but I'm not sure if I'll be in the mood for Return of the King.
Okay.
Also, it is stretching actually. Though he is a ranger, he doesn't exactly do ranging or exploring work in the Return of the King.
But don't they explore like other places of Middle Earth?
No, I don't think so. Not in Return of the King. Return of the King is mostly war, right? Book 3
Ah,
of Lord of the Rings.
okay, never mind.
So, 15th prompt, final prompt in row 3 is Duology Part 2. Read the second book in Duology. This is the square where you can repeat the author. You can read the same, continue book 2 of the Duology, book 1 you read in the previous prompt. But hard mode is finish a different duology than you started for the duology part one. This is another easy part for me. So there is a sequel book to House in the Cerulean Sea, Somewhere Beyond the Sea by TJ Klune. I didn't even realize when that book came out, but these days, every time when I go to library, that book is right there. Twice I got that book from library, and both the times I returned it without reading. And last time also when I went to library, I saw that. I was like, next time I'm definitely going to pick up. So immediately after seeing this prompt, that is what I it reminded me of that library book actually. Even location where mine it was kept in my library, I'm going to pick that up and finally read it.
My pick is one that I do not have because it is a book that will be coming out in September, October, but it is the second book to whatever Stonewater Kingdom. Actually, I think that just came to my mind. I think it's called Stonewater Kingdom Duology by Rachel Gillig. The first book is The Night and the Moth, and the second book is The Knave and the Moon. And I am oddly and surprisingly very excited for it, considering
Did you
how.
like book one? You did not like book one, right?
That's the thing. That's why it's surprising. It's because I was so underwhelmed by the first book. But for whatever reason, even though I was very underwhelmed by almost every single aspect of it, something about Rachel Gillig's writing and just the world itself is it's like crack. It just makes me want to read and find out more. So
That's
I
good. That's good.
and if it's hard mode because it's a different duology. So there you go.
Yes.
All right, next prompt is one word title, and it's a story that has obviously a one word title. Hard mode is that the title is not a proper noun. And I'm not gonna lie, I had to look up what a proper noun was, what that meant to make sure that one, I'm not dumb, and two, I didn't pick something incorrectly. So I have two options. Both of them are written by Octavia E. Butler because I love Octavia E. Butler. So I have Pattern. Nope, that's the other one. Fledgling, which is a standalone, and then the first published book of the Patternist series, which is Pattern Master. So I know this looks like two words, but it's actually one word because look, one word, Pattern Master. Just want to clarify that there. So yeah.
Coincidentally, I picked Butler as well. I will be reading Dawn. I have Fledgling as well, but this is on my TBR, 26 books to 2026 TBR. Another easy prompt for me. This is on my TBR from past 3 years. I read Kindred and Parable of the Tower, Parable of the Sever and Parable of the Talents in 2021. It's been 5 years since I read Butler actually. So it's high time. I need to read this one.
Nice.
People will talk about it when we get to that prompt. Okay.
As an aside, Dawn was, I think I told you this, but Dawn was my first Octavia E. Butler.
Yeah. You
Great.
liked it, right?
Of course. I loved it.
Next prompt is non-human protagonist. Story features a main character who is not human. Hard mode. There are no human POVs in this story. So this is another easy book for me. Tchaikovsky is coming up with a novel in June. It's called Green City Wars. The main character in that is a raccoon who is an investigator, private investigator. And I am guessing it doesn't have any human POVs.
So, spoiler alert, that's also my pick for that prompt. And in case anyone is curious, my alternate title for Green City Wars is Zootopia, but for adults.
I think Tchaikovsky's last year novella Hungry Gods also don't have any human POVs.
And Ethan, you read it. You would know. Wait,
Yes,
didn't
that's why I'm recommending. I
wait,
think
didn't
so.
why are you saying I think? Then you would know.
Because I have questions about it because it's basically like all these animal kind of things. Most of the interaction between these rabbit person and god actually, and we get to see other cockroach person and what is that seagull person. So I haven't decided if those are like people human attributes are there or they're like outright animals. I forgot.
Got it. Okay. Okay, next prompt is a middle grade. So read a middle grade book. And that's middle grade is intended for grades, I don't know, like whatever. I don't even know what the grades are anymore. Middle grade, ages 8 to 12. And the hard mode is an author, or the author is entirely new to you. And I have a Kelly Barnhill book that I can read, the Ogress and the Orphan, but I've read from Kelly Barnhill before. But that's like my backup plan. A book that I do not have yet, but I am hoping to read for hard mode is Northern Lights, aka The Golden Compass in the North America, by Philip Pullman. It's the first book in the His Dark Materials trilogy.
I'll be reading Nevermore for this by Jessica Townsend. Is that the other name? So I want to read that from long time. Recently, my friend asked me for recommendation for her daughter. She finished Harry Potter. She finished Percy Jackson. So I recommended Nevermore, but I can't give any details because I did not read them. So I thought it's high time. I told her I will read it soon. So I'll be reading that.
Nice.
Next prompt is first contact story prominently features interspecies or interracial meeting for the first time. Hard mode is non-violent first contact. So for this also I struggled a lot because most of the first contacts I want to read are violent. People are recommending Dawn as well. They are saying this is initially the intention of it was non-violent. Later it turns into something, but it is like your interpretation or something. Some people are reading this for hard mode as well, but Evie said I can't do this for hard mode.
So
And
I would agree with that. Like the initial contact is non-violent, but it almost immediately gets very, I wouldn't say violent, but it's definitely,
questionable morality.
yes.
I know what is this book about. That's why I was so surprised by looking at the recommendations. Anyway, for this one, I am very happy with my book pick. I picked something that is out of my TBR actually. That is Remnant Population by Elizabeth Moon. This is a very short sci-fi. This is also perfect for older protagonists. The protagonist is 70 years old woman actually. She is
Huh.
on a different planet when humanity was basically previously humanity was colonizing this planet and they decided to leave. This old woman, she like finished all her responsibilities, so she decided to stay back. She was alone on this planet tending to her gardens and everything. For the first time, the uh, indigenous people of that planet, indigenous species of that planet, makes a contact with this lady apparently. And this is non-violent. I am very curious about that, and I have a backup for this as well. If I don't get to this, I really want to read that. I'm excited for this book, but if I don't get to this, my fantasy pick is Dagger and Coin. Book 1 and book 2 are rereads for me, but I'll be reading this series. We don't meet anyone in book 1, but in 3 or 4 there is a first contact with the previously um, gone race, basically
Hmm.
dragons, actually not dragons in the traditional sense we see in other books, but what is the word I'm forgetting? Like dinosaurs, they're gone extinct. Oh my
Yeah.
god. So they were supposed to be extinct, but apparently in between books 3 and 4 there will be a first contact with this extinct race. I'm not sure if it is going to be violent or non-violent. I will see if it is going to be non-violent, because I really want to include Daniel Abraham in this bingo somewhere, and this is the only place I can fit him in hard mode. I am hoping it will be non-violent. I'll see. If it is a regular mode, I'll pick up Elizabeth Moon. That book I'll definitely read, even if it's not for prompt. I'm super excited. I'm curious actually. I have never tried Elizabeth Moon as well.
Nice. My pick is debatable, but considering that I technically I've started it and I've read kind of the already first contact ish type setting, I will argue that it does count, but it's Slow Gods by Claire North. This is another Angela telling me to read this book because she thinks I'll like it slash love it. And she needs me to talk to her about it and tell her my thoughts. So it's also say shameless self plug. The pick for April's, I don't even know what month it is anymore. It's this month's pick for the Bender Book Club on my channel. So there you go. Murder mystery. Okay, main plot of the story focuses on solving a murder, and for hard mode, the main character is not a detective or a private investigator. And I don't know if this will even fit hard mode or not, but it's the only book that I could find that I physically own that is even remotely related to a murder. And the reason that I am saying that is because the blurb on the back talks about murders that are happening. So I'm assuming there's investigation into those murders. And that is Of Deeds Most Valiant by Sarah K.L. Wilson. And this is actually, I'm pretty sure this is a self-published book.
Yeah, I think so. I'm about to ask that.
Sal got me this book when we went uh, around town when she visited. And this is one she got me. So
I will be reading Seven and a Half Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart 13 for this prompt. This book is on my TBR from past 6 years actually. I read last year Murder at the End of the World by him. It was decent, pretty decent. I like him. It is very accessible. So the like very easy prompt. The second I saw this prompt, I added that to my TBR. So final row, Cat Squasher. Read a book over
I
500.
take offense to this title. Sorry, just I take offense. Bug squasher, sure. Cat squasher, no.
Read a book over 500 pages in length, hard mode over 900 pages. Another easy prompt for me. We are reading A Song of Ice and Fire read along in Alan's Discord. So I have to read Clash of Kings this month in April. So this copy is 970 pages. So perfect.
And
Initially,
I am
go ahead.
feeling I my choice is also Clash of Kings for this prompt, and I'm going to say that I'm using Anita's copy because this copy is like 700 some odd pages. But
This edition is there. That's
yeah,
okay.
I'm using Anita's edition.
Initially, I was going to use this Song of Ice and Fire for different prompt, but I have doubts about that prompt. We'll talk about it next immediately after this. So this is perfect for this one. Actually, initially I was going to use read Lord of Chaos, Wheel of Time book 6 for this prompt, if not this. But this will fit perfectly.
All right. Next prompt is Feast Your Eyes on This, and it is a book where food or a meal is significant to the story's plot, with the hard mode being just being an attempt to make a dish from the book. I literally could find nothing on my shelves that would potentially possibly fit. I'm sure as I read I could probably find something, but I am going to use my swap for this prompt, and I'm going to use a prompt from the 2020 Reddit Fantasy Bingo, and it is read a novel with with epigraphs, and the hard mode is the epigraphs have to be not from real life, like not quotes from our world. They have to be in world quotes. So my pick for this is my reread of God Emperor of Dune. I've been saying for the past 2 years that I'm going to reread God Emperor of Dune since I first and last read it in high school, literally over 20 years ago. But this is the year, dadgummit. I'm going to read God Emperor of Dune, and there are epigraphs in world epigraphs throughout the entire series, as well as obviously this novel as well.
So this is the prompt. Actually, I did a lot of research. Sorry. So people recommended a Storm of Swords for this. I even got a recipe corn fritters. I always usually make zucchini fritters or cauliflower fritters. So corn fritters is easy for me. But I don't think, though food descriptions are mentioned in Song of Ice and Fire books, I don't think they're significant to the plot. Maybe they are significant in Storm of the Swords. I don't know. I'll know when I get to there. But actually, I also researched books based on what I want to eat, what I want to make. I found an excellent book as well, Pomegranate Soup, which is based on actually Iranian cuisine. Three Iranian sisters escape to Ireland and settle there, and they open up a cafe or something. And they kind of, there is a magical realism twist to that, where I mean, those local people are actually hesitant about these people, new foreigners. So I think they, with their food, they kind of affect change in the ideas of those local people. I think they make them more acceptable or something. Anyway, basically I want to make that food. So I picked that one. Somebody said Lies of Lochlomora fits that. I'm currently reading that. There is a read along in Alan's Discord. I'm 150 pages into that, and I do see food. See, the prompt says food or meal is significant to the story's plot. In this one, the meal is significant to story's world building and characters bonding, actually. So I am considering it will fit, actually. Definitely, world building is part of the plot. So I already decided what to make as well. There is there are chicken dumplings, almond buns, stuffed peppers. Characters, actually, main characters hit themselves with the almond buns. And there is also peas and lentils. Something I think I can pick. I definitely going make chicken dumplings. That is for sure. That's easy as well. So next prompt is another easy prompt for me. Published in the 70s, read a book that was first published anytime between 1970 and 1979. Hard mode is written by a woman. Very easy prompt for me. I'll be reading word for word is Forest Bears. Like Elegwin.
My favorite Le Guin! Ba, 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 ba.
This is in my 26 books to read in 2026. I was going to read this in January. This is April. It's a shame. I mean, I realized actually how sad this book is going to be. That's why I'm hesitating, but I will be reading this for sure.
It is not just sad, Anitha, it's enraging.
Yeah, I know. I get it. I think I taste tested it a couple of months back. I realized
And you saw
immediately.
my reaction to it. You read my
So
reaction to it.
I definitely need some light-hearted books. I wanted to add some manga, but never fit them anywhere. But
Hey,
I'll
you
be
got
reading them.
Kiki's Delivery Service Part 2.
Yeah.
So, all right, so my pick is actually, again, shameless self plug, May's pick, and it's actually Anitha's pick for the Bender Book Club, and that is The Forgotten Beasts of Eld by Patricia A. McKillop. 50th anniversary edition, and this was, I think, published in
72 or some 76 sometime like.
something like that. Definitely, obviously, the 70s because it fits the hard mode prompt. Why is it so hard to find when this book was published? 74. So 1974.
I hope you enjoy it.
You and me both.
When I was reading that book, just few pages into it, I read the prose. I was like, Evie needs to read this.
Penultimate prompt. That alliteration. Politics and court intrigue. So politics have to be central to the story's plot. And the hard mode is that the prominent focus on politics is at the city level or lower, so not like worldwide politics or national politics. So my pick, which you could fight me on this and I'll probably lose, but I'm gonna say that it counts for hard mode, is Shades of Milk and Honey by Mary Robinette Cowell. This is, from what I understand, a fantasy, historical fantasy slash Regency era type fantasy. And you know what has politics? Ballroom politics, society politics, and I argue that that's on a smaller, lower scale than worldwide national politics. So that's my pick.
So for this prompt, initially I was going to read the Lies of Locke Lamora for this. Apparently it is set in only on the city, but I moved it to fish food prompt. Feast your eyes on this. So for this, I am going to read Blood Over Bright Haven. This one, this is a dark academia book. Most of it is set in the academy. So I think it will fit for this prompt. And I am reading this with Charmin and Potato in June. Basically, it is our second quarter buddy read, April, May, June. Obviously, I'll be reading in the last month, like last minute. And I think this also has competition. I'm not sure if it will fit for hard mode, but this will fit for definitely normal mode of game changer.
Well, I mean, it is a dark academia, so I assume there's some sort of competition
I
involved.
think there is a competition, but I think the authority will make it tough for her because she's the first woman they want her to fail.
Mhm.
So, in order to succeed, she has to do something very. That's the only way I think, as per reviews, I got that. Uh, I think Jake review, I got some more, but I don't want to spoil for anybody. I got an idea, something like I am connecting two and two. I don't know if it's related. Jake's review said main character has to do something horrible, and somewhere else I read they make it tough for her so that she'll fail. So I think in order to succeed, that's the only path for her. She'll end up doing something horrible. Can we count that as her cheating? I don't know.
Read and find out.
Yeah, I'll have to find out. But I'm thinking this will fit for this hard mode.
Nice.
And the final prompt for this author of color, story written by a person of color, hard mode is author does not live in the US, the UK, Canada, Australia, or New Zealand. Initially, when I looked at this prompt, I thought this was going to be easy prompt for me, but it ended up being one of the difficult prompts for me because I want to pick the books that are on my TBR, 26 books to 20 read in 2026. All the books, like I have what is that, two historical fiction books. They are not speculative fiction, both Indian, one is Indian and one is Chinese. uh, Train to Pakistan, that I can't use, and the other one is Wild Swans, that I can't use. And the fantasy part, I have Babel. I want to fit this. RF Kong lives either in US or Canada. And I want to read Jasmine Throne. That she lives in UK. I think most of the fantasy books I'm interested in, they live in one of these five countries. So I have to search a lot actually. So I have options. One of these options is Evie. Are you ready?
Yes, yes.
This is Mad Sisters of SI by Tashan Mehta. This is a, I think Tashan Mehta lives in India. I
Yes.
think so. I have to cross check once again because
She
she,
she does because fun fact, I had to reach out to her on Instagram to be like, "Hey, how can I order your book?" Because the copies that we have, because I sent Anitha her copy, are the Indian publications. It only got published in the US and UK like in the last year. This is from 2022 or 2023. 2023. So, fun fact.
this is actually very crazy fantasy. I can't even like explain what is the synopsis of this. By the way, this fits for unusual transportation as well if you're looking for it. So because people are going to travel on the whale, and many people are reading. I did not realize how popular this book is. Actually, many people are reading this book for unusual transportation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, many like it was mentioned in the recommendations as well, our fantasy recommendations.
I will just say that I don't know if the UK/US cover has it, but the Indian cover is like so shiny. Like, look at how shiny. Look it, look it, look it. I'm pretty sure I was a crow in a last life. I love shiny stuff. Anyways,
By the way, another gift from Evie. You would think Indian author published in India, I would give to Evie. But both this one and Magical Woman, Evie gifted to me. She got them posted from India as well.
I am more Indian than Anitha confirmed.
Yeah, clearly. All right, that's it. Let us know if you have any other recommendations, especially for difficult prompts. And if you think Dawn is not a proper name, don't tell me. And let us know if you are going to participate in our fantasy bingo.
Thank you for letting me invade your channel.
It's not invasion if you are invited.
Shh, people don't know that.
All right, then. See you. Thanks
Bye.
everyone for watching. Bye.
Okay, the second prompt is judge a book by its title. Judge a book by its title. Repeat, edit that out. This is fine. The power of editing. The second prompt is the Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Anitha, you're never gonna want to do anything with me again. Oh Jesus,
See,
Mary.
the whole point of doing this is to avoid editing, but I think we end up editing the same amount of video.
Well, to be fair, I think we actually wouldn't even edit alive. So it probably would have been better if we just did this. You want the power of editing.
I'm going.
Stories edited by Sukanya Venkatrath Gahana. Cool.
Your pick for game changer.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Wow. It's fine. Okay. Just imagine if this were later in the day, we'd be slap happy.
We should have done this live. It is more fun for people as well. We are cutting out all fun parts.
What are you saying? It's not fun just to talk to me, Anissa?
Okay. Your turn.
Keep that in. Keep that in. Edit this out, Anitha, but next prompt is Explorers and Rangers, and it's a story that features an explorer or a ranger, and that's it. And then Anitha, I swear to God, I have not taken a gummy. This is just me naturally.
You, you
Main plot of the story focuses on solving a murder. I really need to. I thought it said advising a murder. Oh my god, I need to fix my glasses. I need new glasses.
I will be reading seven and a half.
Deaths of Evelyn
Okay,
Hardcastle.
thank you. I was going to say husbands. So I and the final prompt. I said prompt.
Edit
And the
that out, Anitha. So basically, a ranger is Aragorn, an explorer is not. No, that's so stupid. Never mind. Just cut that out. Hard mode.
every time we cut out, it will start from us laughing. People will be so confused.
It's true. Okay. I'm just gonna read red face the entire time. It's fine from laughing. Okay.
Clash of Titans 4, right? That's all.
Clash of Kings, you mean?
Yeah, I did mention Clash of Kings.
You said Clash of Titans.
Oh, sorry.
Because
I
one
mean,
of us is going
if
to
we
delay
count,
it.
if we count this one, there is another
Oh
book.
god!
But I am like 5 weeks or 6 weeks behind right now.
I'm, as of right now, 2 weeks behind, going to be 3 weeks behind, so.
I'm happy about that. By the way, I love this bookmark, especially for this book.
Wait, you love that I'm gonna be behind?
Yes, because why are you so surprised?
You can cut this out. Okay, sweet. All right, that okay. It covers. It's sweet. Okay, sorry. Cut that out. Obviously, cut that out.